Hey guys, so gonna be making another video here. Just some updates here, kind of what's going on. That last video that would have came out, done that in the morning. Now it's evening time here, and I'm just kind of. It's Friday evening. I'm just kind of chilling in the parking lot and stuff here, behind the gas station, waiting on that guy to get done doing the roof. I'm still tired as fuck. Goddamn, look at these eyes. But been running around, hauled a big bunch of scrap and stuff. I mean, I don't want to say scrap, like used tin and shit like that and stuff. Back to the house and chilled there for a little bit. Then came on back to town. It works pretty good, but he's not good about answering his phone. Probably just don't keep it on him, which I mean, you know, to be honest with you, like this guy that we got doing the roof, I'm pretty impressed so far. He doesn't even take lunch breaks. I guess he just kind of, whenever he goes back to his truck, grabs a little something to eat and kind of goes on or something. But pretty happy about that. So the other thing I wanted to mention about it is I'm going to do like a, like a thing where I'm going to kind of show some stuff that's been worked on and we've done and stuff to this trailer that we're going to be like setting it up for renters and stuff. Once everything kind of gets finished or is about close to being finished or what have you. And the way that I'm going to do that is, as I'd mentioned before, I'm recording this on the iPad, but the new phone, you're actually able to pause a video instead of like having to go in and edit it out and shit like that later on. You can actually just pause the video, like if you're making like a TikTok or something, you pause it, then you can start it back up. So that'd be pretty handy, kind of going, showing this, pause, showing that, pause, you know, stuff like that. So after I make a video or two here, I've got, like I say, a pretty good list of things I want to go over, but I feel like a lot of those I can kind of go over like in one, and may save those for some time whenever I'm not as tired and kind of got so I want to get through these, and then I've got some ideas for some videos and stuff to kind of make a whole nother like big bunch of batches and stuff about. I'll do them whenever I'm not as tired and roughed out looking. But regardless though, the one thing I did want to talk about in this though, and by the way, I've still got that video coming. Well, you guys will probably see it next week. Cause like I say, I usually record X amount and then, you know, have them upload one a day and stuff. So really, I'm only recording videos 3 or 4 times a week or something like that. A couple of them here and there, and unless I get a whole lot of time and I just make a big batch of them, you know. But the times I've recorded the majority of them, like in a big bunch of them and stuff, you probably see me sitting down in that like old building and stuff, and that's because that would have been like during my daughter's nap, which is probably the most time that I have. But where everything's kind of warming up, I think we're going to end up, I know we'll have another snow or two, like littler ones and stuff. I'd say the worst of the weather's out of the way, but I got a big ass list of shit I got to do for before it gets hot. So trying to spend all that time that I can getting that stuff done instead of just kind of making some videos and whatnot. So night time, and then whenever I've just got some downtime waiting on people and stuff, seem to be about the best time to do it. But I don't like these sunlight videos. Of course, if you noticed, I'm not in the truck, in the little bitty car. I hauled ridge caps in here though, had them because I needed some extra ones and stuff for them over there, and had some at the house. They weren't full size pieces, like full like 8-footers or whatever. Just kind of a mixed match of different sizes here and there. But had them all the way there and ran them all the way up to the dash. So that's what you got to do sometimes, because I still had the truck loaded down. I still had the trailer attached to it, had the bed full of shit, and I was just going to have to unhook all that. And yeah, I probably could have got the the little bitty pickup and stuff I've got. I haven't drove it other than just kind of move it around. In about 6 months, I need to get it back to going good. Of course, the bed's about rusted off of it, so I can't haul a whole lot. But I mean, I could haul the full-size ridge caps and stuff, you know, if need be in it. But anyways, I would have had to top off the brake fluid, and then I would have had to put a battery in it, which I've got one for it. I've just kind of been keeping it in the house, keeping it warm until I need it. So, but it's kind of down on the list a little bit to fuck with. But yeah, so now that I've kind of got a little update stuff, which I'm going to tell the whole story of all this. Probably make a video maybe tonight or something. If I give me a good nap in, we'll have to see. But the thing I want to talk about in this video here is that, like, evil is a concept of the human mind. That's probably what I'll name the video and stuff too, or something along those lines. So, realistically, what is considered, I guess a better term would be immoral, or, you know, let's just say evil, I guess, is, it all has to do with, what is kind of like an agreed upon thing, and most of it does come from like a Christianity standpoint. Like who kind of has decided all these things. And if you kind of look at it, a lot of times, you see me looking around and stuff, I'm in a little bit of a sus area, but always nervous people want to hit you up for $1 or a ride or some shit. But anyways, yeah, so it's a lot of it's just kind of all in people's minds. There are certain things that, like, I'm still learning all the time and kind of you know, thinking about and stuff like that. Is like, you know, there's like the carnal desires and stuff that I think we're kind of here to be able to experience and stuff on earth with, you know, our meat suits, flesh suits, or what have you. And a lot of these, again, like the sins and stuff, I mean, they're obviously all based on Christianity, and then the laws and stuff are kind of created as that. I mean, I think there's certain things that people can kind of get down with. It's like, obviously, shouldn't be killing anybody, raping anybody, you know, that type of stuff. You know, robbing or anything like that. I think that's fucked up. But then again, obviously, all these things, I think most people would assume to be bad. But they're just like basic guidelines, like the 10 Commandments and stuff like that is basically just baseline level. Don't fuck with people in their shit, really. Which they don't even have thou shalt not rape or whatever. They have the adultery thing, but then again, it's kind of like, you know, are these suggestions or are they not? What have you, you know, for these people and their followers, because not many of them hold true to that and stuff, you know. But then again, it's like, do you have to be married for that to count? I don't know. Just kind of spitting some stuff here. But then the rest of it is basically like, you know, the jealous God stuff, nobody before me. But if you can kind of break away and just like do what you want to do and say what you want to do, and, you know, be the person that you want to be, and you don't have to follow these like strict guidelines, because again, the laws and stuff are kind of designed around these things, which again, they're all baseline stuff that's like kind of like duh, you know. But a lot of times things that are, you know, would be considered evil, such as like witchcraft or something, for example, or cussing or what have you, just kind of different ends of the spectrum, but you get what I'm saying, like, or listening to heavy metal music or something, right, would be considered evil from like a Christian standpoint. But with that being said, does it really make you a bad person? Are you evil because you know, like listening to whatever type of music and things like that, or because you know, you like experiencing the pleasures of the flesh suit or what have you, you know. These are all things that's just kind of been instilled into people, and people kind of have this agreed upon thing that's and even people that are like, say, atheists or whatever, for example, I think a lot of them still follow a very Christian lifestyle based on the morals and guidelines, because again, laws are kind of you know, a part of that, which I'll talk more about that in another video. It's kind of how the Christianity is kind of like fancy atheism. I mean, realistically, they're just putting faith in something, and they are doing some sense of magical practices and stuff like that, but it's very unspiritual, even compared to the other two Abrahamic religions and stuff. Which at the end of the day, though, I mean, as far as, you know, even Christianity goes and stuff like that, I think it can be a good guidance for lost NPCs and things like that, for example, because again, you know, there are people that get help, like in certain rehabilitations and stuff, through like Christianity and stuff like that. So I think it can be helpful for things like that, but I also think it is a little bit more of a NPC thing in a sense, which again, I'm going to go more into that into another video. But yeah, if you just kind of like sit back and think, like, yes, there are certain things that are causing harm to others and stuff like that, that's probably not a good idea, obviously, but the rest of what would be considered evil, if it's just something that you're doing yourself, like me wearing a seatbelt or not, that's technically a law, right? I don't think I'm evil because I usually don't fuck with them, but you know, I mean, do I think I'm an evil person because, you know, I listen to metal music or whatever stuff too, right? Like, no, you know, realistically. But to some people would be, you know. It's like how I was the evil one because I wouldn't want to wear the mask and stuff like during the Rona and shit, you know. But I always told them, like, hey, take a seatbelt. Like, the person in the other car, it doesn't matter if you have a seatbelt on or not, right? That's like a you thing. It's like a personal, like you're protecting yourself, right? But anyways, that was all just a herd, like the Rona stuff. That was all just like mind control, herd mindset, sheep mentality, NPC fucking stuff. I think it made a lot of us stronger and stuff, and kind of realizing this, because I never really thought a whole lot about the NPCs or the, you know, kind of herd mentality of others and stuff like that until that happened. But yeah, I mean, sometimes these topics get way off hand. I feel like I didn't even really touch on the evil as like a human concept or whatever, or made up concept, whatever you want to say. But you guys get what I'm saying. Don't let people tell you that you're like a bad person for doing something, especially if it's something that you're just doing yourself, you know, you're experiencing because it's something that you like or what have you, you know. There's certain things like excess of anything is going to be bad for you. Like, don't feel bad about going and eating that cheeseburger or something, you know. It's like, oh man, you've been working hard, you deserve it. But at the end of the day, though, I mean, if you eat cheeseburgers all the time, then, you know, you kind of blow the fuck up and stuff like that, and you're going to start having some issues, you know what I'm saying? But it's in your right to do so, and I don't think you're evil or anything for that. But it's probably, you know, just better for you. Excess can be, you know, kind of fuck you up, which then again, it's like, I know, especially around here, because the majority of people are like big as fuck, you know. I remember, I'll just tell this story. You know, I talk all this stuff here, but went to a Christian church for a long time. I went to Christian private school fucking forever and shit, right? So, I mean, I've been kind of in this shit at a young age and whatnot. Well, anyways, it's at this church, one of the last times I ever went, and there's this preacher up there and stuff, and he's like big as fuck and everything, you know what I'm saying? And it was kind of just, got some weirdos driving around. They're going now. But anyways, he was up there like kind of judging, or I felt like it was a little bit direct. Mind you, this is a small ass church. Like, we're talking like a dozen to 15 people there, right? And I felt like he was really just kind of judging me and my wife a little bit for not technically being saved. And even though we had asked to be saved, it wasn't within the church's rules that we could be saved because we were living together and not married on paper. Now, at this time, mind you guys, me and my wife, I mean, we've been together since like junior year of high school. You know what I'm saying? And at this time, we've probably been together, fuck, like 6, 7 years. I'm just guessing the date without sitting here and doing the math, right? Probably like 7. And back in the day, whenever Jesus was running around and shit, they didn't have a courthouse for you to go to and say, da-da-da, married, you know what I'm saying? You would have just chosen partner, been with them and stuff, you know? And, but anyways, we were getting judged because we weren't saved within the church. But then another thing I thought was kind of funny was that I'm pretty sure there was like this one other guy there, like his girlfriend or something was able to get saved, even though they weren't married, but just because they lived in 2 separate households or whatever and hadn't been together for however. I mean, I don't know. They may have been together forever. I don't know. But it's just that was the church's rules, though. You know, so that's kind of like being judged by other humans and being viewed as evil because of this or that, right? And yeah, I don't know. But like say, big gluttonous motherfucker and stuff like that. Like I'm talking like not even just like chubby or anything, like really big, like kind of King Kong Bundy, you know, and which I mean no hate, but I'm just saying like it's kind of like tit for tat, you know. Very gluttonous, judging us for this because this specific thing, because we couldn't be, which to be honest with you guys and be completely fair, I would have had to have done a unbaptism had that had happened, you know, later in life and stuff. And at some point, me and my wife, I mean, we are married and everything now and stuff, of course, but we do plan on actually redoing our wedding vows at some point in a like pagan wedding and stuff, and kind of undoing all the you know, the kind of the Christian version and stuff of it, you know. So which I mean, there's no hate. I mean, there's plenty of people that just kind of does that because that's the thing to do, right? I know a lot of people and stuff like that, even at their funerals and shit like that, they, you know, they're not like a big time Christian man or anything like that. That's just kind of what you do. But I want to be different though. Like if anything ever happens to me, I don't want to be like everybody else, get slapped up in the same 1 or 2 funeral homes we got around here, get the same 1 or 2 preachers around here that don't know fuck all about you, and then just start, you know, doing the breathing thing, you know, and getting wild and shit at a funeral. And then you got a bunch of family coming in, and they're not even, they just, oh man, that sucks, you know. And then they just sit around and gossip the rest of the time. It's like family reunions. That's why people love these fucking funerals. Like they found out a way to monetize your death. I've said that before on video, I think, and I'm always saying it in real life. So, like I say, these videos are just kind of internal monologues. I did check YouTube, by the way, whenever I was at the house, and can't remember the username. Shout out to the guy in the NSBM video, and like left a comment and stuff like that. Super fucking nice. Like holy fuck. You know, that was awesome. So anyway, shout out to that guy, and did hit the 50 subs, so I'm gonna have to start looking into seeing what I can do to kind of get going on a little bit of some like live stream chat stuff, you know, sometime with you guys. But yeah, I've got it written down here. Evil is the concept of the human mind. So veered off topic of fuckload, but that's kind of how these videos go. Didn't smoke in this one. To be honest with you guys, those Winstons, let's see if I can dig them out without knocking this down. Probably not. Well, y'all seen them in the video that have been posted before this one, but they're pretty good. They're pretty satisfying. Like I can tell, like I can go like, sometimes it's like this with like normal store-bought cigarettes versus Rollies. Rollies, you gotta smoke more. I mean, just to be honest with you guys, or at least seems to be, right? But with these here, I mean, where they're pretty stout, pretty harsh, they you know, they kind of satisfy you for a little bit. So didn't really need one. But yeah, anyways, hopefully the air conditioner wasn't too loud in this either. But any of you guys watch to the end, this is a bit of a longer video. Appreciate it, and Hope you have a good one.